Hey craft cocktail and tiki drink fans, today we're going to have a battle of the Russians, the Black Russian and the White Russian. We're going to see which one wins out in this video. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe and like and hit that notify bell so you're the first to know when new videos come out on this channel. Now I want to thank one of our viewers who wrote in and said, hey, I love your work, but I'd like to see how to make a White Russian. So today on the show, we're going to make them and they're going to go head to head and we're going to see who wins. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. Did you subscribe while we were away? Let's talk about the battle between the Black Russian and the White Russian. And here's the interesting part. Neither are Russian. It actually is a reference to the fact that there's vodka in both drinks. But let's get down and show you that there is nothing really mysterious about making these two great classic cocktails. Now, the Black Russian was first created in 1949 by Gustav Tops at the Hotel Metropole in Brussels. And he wanted something dark and foreboding because this was kind of the beginning of the Cold War with Russia. So the Black Russian is very, very simple to make. And you'll see some commonalities in a little bit with the White Russian. We're going to start off with just a cocktail glass. We're going to load that up with ice. Pop that up pretty well. And the main ingredient in this is vodka. Today we're using Seagram's extra smooth vodka, but you can use any decent grade vodka that you want. And we're going to use 2 ounces of that and throw that right in that glass. Now this is what's called a build versus a shaken cocktail. We can just do it right in the glass. We don't need to have a shaker cup or anything like that. It's that simple. The second ingredient is Kahlua. Never mind that it's made in Mexico, but it's really just Arequipa, coffee, liqueur with rum and sugar. It's actually like 29 grams of sugar in an ounce, but that's okay. It gives it a little bit of a sweetness. We're going to throw in 1 ounce of Kahlua right on top of that. And look how that's already mixing together beautifully already. And give that a gentle little stir. And that's it. That's the Black Russian. Okay, now we're going to jump forward a few decades. And the earliest reference that I could find about the White Russian was in November 1st, 1965 in the Oakland Tribune. Now they used a coffee liqueur that was only made for a few years by Southern Comfort called Southern Coffee, but we don't have to use that. We can still use the same ingredients and we have 1 extra ingredient like we did before. So again, we go back to our vodka, 2 ounces. Throw that in. Oops, Bill forgot to put the ice. So you gotta load that up with ice first. Just getting ahead of myself. Well, the vodka's already in, so we're in good shape. And again, that's a build, so there's really no set order in which this has to be done. All right, so we already got our 2 ounces of vodka in. And just like the Black Russian, the little brother, we're gonna use 1 ounce of Kahlua. Throw that right on top. Okay, now you're waiting for the part that makes it a White Russian. Okay, now there's a few variations on this, and I'll talk about that real briefly. The original recipe calls for half and half, but we want a splash, but we want it to be decadent, so there's a difference between a dash and a splash. Like if you're using grenadine or bitters, you know, just a few drops is a dash. But a splash is exactly what it entails, what it sounds like. Just give it a good splash on top. Now, if you really want to make this decadent, go ahead and use heavy whipping cream, and it'll make it thicker. Okay, some people say this might be just a little thin for their taste, but this was the original recipe that I could find. Some people like it thick and decadent by using that heavy cream, and if you want it to be frozen, maybe just throw a dollop of vanilla ice cream in on top and let that melt and stir that down instead of using the ice. So that's it. So which one is really better? We just give that a little bit of a stir, and look how beautiful that is. And the Black Russian's a gorgeous drink too, but it really comes down to this. If you're a coffee drinker, do you drink it black or do you put cream in it? Okay, the choice is yours. Okay, now just a real quick history. The White Russian was almost dead for a few years, and then this movie came along in 1998 that starred Jeff Bridges as the dude, called The Big Lebowski. In the movie The Big Lebowski, the dude was constantly drinking these things, but he made several references to it, calling it a Caucasian. So if you go and you ask a bartender for a Caucasian, expect a White Russian. So that's it. Which do you prefer? Let me know down in the comments. And also be on the watch. We have an upcoming video on how to make your own Kahlua. So that's it for today. So in traditional Russian colloquialism, do svidaniya, tovarich. And cheers from Bourbon Bill's Pirate Bar.